Hello everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings here, and this video is why I haven't really gotten any bigger in quite a while, like a couple years, like year and a half, almost a couple years. Now it looks like I've gotten bigger, and I've gotten a little bit bigger, but for the most part it is fat, which I'm currently working on getting rid of. I actually did think I had gotten a decent amount bigger, but then I realized it was just fat, water, and everything that comes along with being fatter and eating more. But the reality is that I have not really, actually about a year ago, I was working out really hard, but I couldn't keep it up because my body can only take so much. So when I was younger, I pushed really hard. When I was like 10 years old, I would fracture my forearm bones doing curls, because when I was 10 years old, and I don't know how much I weighed, I don't know exactly how tall I was, but I was shorter and I was a very little person. I was actually the second smallest kid in my grade school up until 8th grade. But I would curl 25 pound dumbbells for quite a few reps. I don't know, 8. I started off lower, but I know I tended to do the 6 to 12 range, probably mostly 8 to 12. So yeah, I would fracture my forearm bones. I was pushing so hard. One time I was with my parents on vacation working out in the hotel gym, and I strained myself so badly that my eyes were in a lot of pain, and that was not pleasant. They were worried because they were concerned I was going to hurt myself working out. And then when I was 14, almost 15, I dislocated one of my ribs from my sternum, benching 205 pounds. I think I got 2.5 reps. I don't remember exactly, but I know I didn't get 1, and I don't think I got 3. I think I got like almost 3. And I was like 128 pounds. Yeah, 128 pounds, benching 205 for 2 whole reps plus a little. I don't remember exactly, that's quite a while ago. But yeah, I dislocated it. It was not good, and after that, I did not max out on my bench for 7-8 years. So I got up to like 255 for about 11 reps. About 255 for 11. I know I did 11 reps of whatever I did. But when I was like 15 or 16, I got to the 2 plates, and then I started just adding on, and I don't remember exactly how much I added on. At the time, I thought I was just going to keep adding on until I get to 3, and then, I didn't think I'd get injured, because I've always worked out so hard that I get lots of injuries. I also got tendinitis in my shoulders when I was 16, before I got a whole bunch of really bad injuries, torn ligaments and tendons from wrestling and other accidents. So yeah, I was getting really bad tendinitis even at the age of 16. So after 4 years off the gym, I did push really hard, but not quite as hard, to get back into shape. It took me a couple years to get back into shape, I'd say, till I get roughly as good as I could do, and then like a much slower progress after that. But since I got back to roughly where I was when I was 16, honestly weaker, so a couple years ago I would do the 110 pound easy bar for 12 reps. I had to work my way up to it, of course, you don't just start with that. But now, I don't even curl 110 pound easy bar. I'll probably grab like an 80 and do like 8 reps. Why? Because if I work out with heavier stuff any more than just infrequent, like once in a while, maybe like once a month, it puts too much damage on my joints and my tendons. I'm assuming ligaments, but I can definitely feel the tendons. Like in these last couple of weeks, I worked on my bench as much as I could to get it back up because I have benched 3 plates on 2 different like short time periods in the last year. I worked my way up to it in like December of 2020, and then again in like May or June. But between those times, it went down. And same thing between like May or June and now, it went down. Because I'm not always pushing really hard because it just breaks down and it can't build itself up very well. It's why I kind of just get content with how, I mean, I'm not content, but I gotta be, because if I want to get bigger, I'd have to push harder. I mean, that's how I've always been able to grow. I just push really hard and I grow. But if I kept doing that, I would have really painful shoulders, really painful elbows, painful sternum, painful knees. Actually, my squat and my deadlift continue to go up. I was surprised. I actually did, I think, 5 reps of 420 deadlifting, and I deadlift maybe once a month usually. But those lifts are because I never worked on them throughout my life very much, so they're way underdeveloped compared to the rest of my body. But yeah, it's crazy. For the most part, I lift less weight for less reps now than even just a couple years ago, because I can lift heavier stuff, but I just can't do it very often because it hurts me. Not like hurts and feels bad at the moment, but like actually does damage that takes a while to heal. Why this is, I don't know, just how my body is. It just can't heal stuff very well nowadays. So this is about the best shape. I mean, I'll get leaner. This is probably about the biggest my muscles will ever be in my life. Perhaps slowly but surely they'll get bigger, but I really don't know, since if you can't lift, I mean, you can try for better contractions with lighter weights, but still, like I said, all my growth throughout my life has not been from doing like lighter stuff, focusing on the contraction. It's always been from just lifting as heavy as I could. People always thought like, oh, you must be using steroids or something, and it was like, well, I push myself as hard as I can. And most people don't know what that is. That means pushing so hard that when you're 10 years old, you fracture your forearm. Means that you somehow strain your eyeballs. It means that you're ready to like pass out and throw up every time after the gym. Like when I was younger, and it happened in the last few years also occasionally, but when I was younger, almost every single time I went to the gym, by the time I was done working out, my hands were like literally like this much when I would go to wash my hands after working out. And I would be very lightheaded and feeling bad and nauseous. Yeah, it was not pleasant, but I liked working out, I liked the results, and I just had to suffer through it. And about a year ago, when I tried pushing really hard again, it just felt like I was hit by a truck so many days, just destroyed, because it was just damaging my body so much, plus my muscles were so sore. The combination of having, and I don't just mean sore, I mean like debilitatingly sore and painful. Especially I remember my legs, because I was working on those, and I can't remember exactly, but they were just like so painful. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what it interfered with, but just like everything. 'Cause after the workout, they were just so painful and sore that maybe it was walking upstairs and I just really did not even know what to do. But just like I made a video, you can look for it. It's like what working out hard is really like, or I don't remember exactly, but I'm talking about how it's hard work. It's hard. It feels horrible. And yeah, that's not how people typically are. And Perhaps it's just my genetics, perhaps other people don't need to push as hard to get so big, but probably people do push hard. It's just I hit my limit of what my body can handle, whereas some people that are bigger have a higher limit. And it's not a mental limit, it's a physical limit of if I push harder, my tendons and my joints will, until I just literally can't work out at all. Because I mean, if you keep damaging something that doesn't recover, and you damage it before it recovers, damage it, eventually it's just gonna give. So yeah, I work out a lot different now than I did when I was putting on most of my size. Actually, my biceps look pretty good at this angle because they've gotten, I don't know if they've actually gotten smaller, but maybe the rest of my body got a little bit bigger and biceps didn't, but I have not been happy with how they've been looking. But in the video right now, I'm happy with them. Nice to finally see some definition again. So if you want to put on size, just remember, you gotta push so hard that you get little injuries. Just don't push so hard that you get significant injuries. For me, it's hard because at least right now, I can't, it's like, this is how I'm working out. This is how I should work out to get progress. But this hurts me to the point where it does damage that I don't recover from really. And there's no in between. It just doesn't work. Hope you like, I'm gonna say some more stuff. Hope you like this video. I've got like 450 other videos. Got a website, andrewhutchings.org, where you can hire me for consultations. Anything but medical advice, but it's not medical advice if I don't tell you to do it. I'm just giving you information. And my book on tendonitis is for sale on there. And if you love tendonitis, you can still just add it to your library collection, your bookshelf. You don't have to read it. You can just order it, because sooner or later, I think you're not going to like tendonitis and you'll want to read that book. My Instagram is natural_true_fitness. Oh, and especially, like, I've been trying to diet down, and body just feels damaged. So I'm gonna be dieting down less hard, but at least I already lost some fat, so I can see the difference. But yeah, I gotta eat more. And not just protein. Even if you have lots of protein, but you don't eat anything else, at least me, I don't recover well. So I'm gonna be adding in the carbs again, because they do help hydrate things, and maybe it's insulin response, I don't know, but they do help.